Hi all, Angus Campbell here. Monday, 14th of April, 2025, cracking on with the tank. And I think, as I mentioned at the end of the last video, found a couple of low spots. Well, you can't see it now because I put probably too thick a layer of stopper on here and here. There was a little sort of, appeared to be like a little ding there. And at the front here, something that I filled, but there was a bit of an aberration in the filler, probably, that we've uncovered. Other than that, I know it's difficult for you to see on the video, and also we're in matte paint, which can hide all sorts of sins, but I've done a close inspection of this tank now and see if I can see anything else. It doesn't preclude us finding anything that's later on when we start putting gloss paint on, but I think it's looking good and I'm pleased with it. It's going to just be a total transformation. Right, so we'll let that stopper dry off probably until tomorrow before we start thinking about the next coat, which I'll probably use ordinary primer. I don't think I've got any filler primer left, but I don't think we're going to need it. So we'll let this dry well, sand that off, another coat of etch primer, maybe primer, and then we're on to the silver base, and then we'll see what it looks like then. But for now, we've just got to be patient. Hi everyone, Angus Campbell here, Tuesday the 15th of April 2025. Right, back on to the tank. So where we left it in the last video just published is that there were a couple of aberrations at the front that I'd put stopper on. So I've now rubbed that stopper down. You can see that one's filled rather nicely. This feels all right, not quite sure though, but anyway, we'll get a layer of etch primer on there, see what it looks like, and then if it's okay, we're ready for top coat primer and then silver base coat. So I'm not going to dally around trying to explain too much on this one because you're probably sick to death of it by now. You just want to begin to see, the beginnings of the end, i.e. ultimately ending up as pretty as that, which was our test from last year. And actually, while we're here, we know there's a bit of bloody reaction going on. You can see it. See the lines? Just trying to tell if they're getting any worse. Don't think so just yet. So we'll leave that for now. But anyway, that's where we aim to get to then with the tank and the other side panel, which is there, ready to go with the silver base paint. And then we're going to tack the front mudguard. And just a quick note on that, the front mudguard, I'm pretty sure is original paint because it's got the white line down the middle, which is the old-fashioned vinyl, i.e. Fablon. I don't think it's flamboyant blue though. I think it's something like metallic aircraft blue, something like that. So it's not going to quite match, but the tank is, the mudguard, the front mudguard's in exceptional condition. It hadn't been repainted with the rest of the stuff badly. It's probably in a factory paint. I am probably going to give it a light rub down and do it in the same sort of flamboyant blue finish that we're aiming to do on this. It's not me to do that, to ruin factory paint, especially when it's immaculate. But anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments if I should do that. And then the rear mudguard needs doing as well, which is, as rubbish as the rest of these parts that we're doing. So it does need doing at some point when we've got time, but most of it's covered up. So I don't think we'll get it done before the target date of May the 8th, 9th, when we're taking this bike to a rally that used to be an annual event, but be the last one now because we're all getting on a bit, relating to the old Sussex Motorcycle Club charity days a long while ago. Anyway, that's where we're going. Enough of that. Let's get some paint on this and see where we are. Right, this is it. I think we're ready for, excuse me, the silver base coat. So I did have to do a bit more work on the left front here. You might just see a hint of yellow around here because I used the filler primer. I did do a couple of coats of that, and I was using that as a guide coat as well when I was sanding down. And I think with a it's amazing what the light does, doesn't it? Well, I'm going to put it on. God, when you look, there's little apparitions everywhere. Look at that, it's come up as well. Right, no, not there yet. Now that sort of pattern there, I think unfortunately that's a feature of the damn rust proofing. Yeah, I don't like that stuff at all. It leaves, you're supposed to paint it on and it leaves streaks and that. Of course you can't sort of wipe it off, otherwise it's not going to be able to do its stuff and react. Do you know what, I think I'm going to give this a very light dry, wet and dry before we do it. Yeah, okay. Very, very light, wet and dry, you know, 1500 grit. Right. Right, I've done a light rub down with 1500 grit, dry. You probably can't see any difference, but it did, you know, smooth over a number of blemishes. So I've wiped it over with a tack rag. We're going for it. Right, so I've got the first coat of well, the coat of silver base. I think it'll only need one, to be honest, on the top surfaces of both the side panel and tank. And it looks a bit of a rough finish, but that's how it is actually, sort of almost like a satin as well. I gave it a good coat. I've still got the underside of the tank and the other side of the side panel to do, so I won't show you that. One thing that has shown up though, can you see it? Trying to get the light on it. There it is. Slight depression there, but as I say, I'm not going for concourse on this, just I'm a lot more presentable than it was. And there's your reference point. So it comes out like that, I'll be more than happy. And this has got blemishes in it. You can see, for instance, there you go. I was just, obviously it's a very, very light coat of blue and it's spattered. Look at that. There's one or two others as well, there you go. But they're hardly noticeable. This is lacquered, needs finishing. Yeah, cutting back a bit, but it'll be fine. I'll do it all together. So I'll finish off the silver. It won't be today, very damp and raining steadily. We need it. So that'll be another day. But let me just finish this clip and bring you over to another one. Same bike, different subject. There you go. Another wheel. Now I won't bore you with my struggles with parcel force to get this here, but anyway, we have acquired another B25SS front wheel, and I'll show you the reason for that when we pick up the other parts when they're finished at Central Wheel, which hopefully might be in the next week or so. Anyway, got this wheel and it's here, and we need to use this, and you'll see why later, probably in the next video. But this wheel, pretty pleased with it. The rim is good, one or two little blemishes on it, but it's pretty good chrome. Spokes are new. The brake plate is factory paint, without a doubt, and it's in reasonable nick. So we're going to keep it. There's a few blemishes around here, but as you can tell from effectively what is the anchor point, the forks go here, which is why, you know, nobody's seen that in the past. The brake arms look pretty good. The only thing that lets it down a little bit is the hub, which has been painted, and it's beginning to go. So I'm going to do a test on this and see if that paint will strip, because if it does, I'm going to strip it, because I can do all that with something like nitro moors, etc., without damaging anything else, and at least that'll make it more presentable. Good news as well is it came with a good original cable and retaining clip, so that's a bonus. So I will take this brake plate off. In fact, that hasn't got a nut there, and it's loose. Anyway, that's fine. We'll take the brake plate off. In fact, look at this, live. We'll take that brake plate off. I've never seen that before. We normally see a nut, but that's fine by me. I haven't got a peg spanner to fit it, but we'll get by. Here she comes. So you can see it's a little bit rough inside, so it's probably been through the mill a bit. Shoes have got plenty of meat on. Verniers are there and stuff, but that looks okay. So we just get this on the bench, under the light a bit. You can see now, you see the paint's crazed a little bit, but there's nothing you can do with that other than repaint it. There's a little bit of line on that edge, but for now, that's fine. These, the brake arms have been painted. Again, do for now, although I think I have new ones. But obviously I'll have to take, well, I'm going to have to take it to bits to clean it properly anyway. There's brake dust in there, looks so it's definitely been used, but yeah, plenty of meat on the pads, on the shoes. Anyway, this is pretty good. Ish. From a distance. Look at that, looks fine there. Right, so I'm going to do a bit of a test on this somewhere down here, see what, if this paint comes off easily, and see what's underneath it. Right, 5 minutes work, the nitro moors lifted it. There's some sort of whitish undercoat, maybe something like a filler primer underneath the silver, but underneath that you've got your aluminium. It's been blasted, but that's okay. Sort of a matte finish on it. It'll clean it up pretty well, and it will look a lot better than, you know, that. You can see with the rest of it, it's like probably a rough finish underneath. But we can give it a bit of polish. That's not too bad. And then with respect to the brake plate, then yeah, we'll keep that as is for now. It's not bad. You can see it, polish improves it. And also with the brake arms, I'm just going to strip this paint off, because underneath actually they're not rusty too much. So we'll take that paint off and give them a bit of a polish up. Obviously the original zinc plating will be pretty thin or long gone, but we can give it a polish and a buff up, I should say. Put some polish on it, and that should prevent it rusting. So, tally ho. Next up, I'll bring you back for a final clip when we've allegedly got a dry day, could be tomorrow, to finish the silver and then pray when we put the blue on. If we don't fail, go back to silver, start again, blue again, etc. Next day, and I'm just putting on another application of Nitromorse. Now, yeah, I did leave the first lot on, and yes, it dried, but it does begin lifting the paint. And actually, I don't know if you can see, but as I'm brushing this on, I will be leaving it. Here we are. This is just a soft brush. There you go, in the centre there. The paint's lifting. So it's going to take a few goes, but I don't mind. I say I could use a harsher brush, really, but at the moment I'm not intending to do this all the way tonight. I'm just going to put another coat on and again leave it to lift away. Right, I'll crack on. Up on the bench there, the tank and the side panel have had another coat of base. The camera sort of shows it's looking good, and actually to the naked eye I'm pleased with it too. So we're just going to let that dry overnight. Tomorrow's supposed to be possibly wet in the morning but nice in the afternoon, so if it is and it's a reasonable temperature, I think we're going for it with the blue. Pray for me. Well, we're getting there, but it's slow. This is tough, actually. The Nitromorse is having a bit of a job getting these, I think it's 2 layers of paint, some sort of undercoat, sort of a whitish undercoat, and then a silver top coat. Got to hand it to the paint. It's robust stuff. But anyway, after several coats of Nitromorse yesterday, and I've now given it a wire brush to break up, to break it up a bit and allow the Nitromorse to begin getting underneath it a bit. And we're getting there. If I can get out of the shadows, there's the finish. So these have been blasted, but that's okay. I don't mind that. We'll get a sort of a matte finish, a matte metal finish. There's another area there, but with the light on it you can't see it too well. And there's lots of those sort of areas now that are being revealed. So we'll get brushing again. We've just got to keep at it. We're getting there. I know it looks like a disaster, doesn't it? But it's not. Actually, it's just because after another 2 coats of Nitromorse, I then started hitting it with the wire brushes, and I've got a set of wheels as well for the drill. Run it on a slow. Luckily, these spokes are all stainless steel, so I'm never going to damage those. I didn't know that before I started this, otherwise it'd have been a right mess probably. So where we're at now, I've wire brushed all this, and so what we'll do is we'll wash this down now, and then we'll give it one last coat of Nitromorse, because I'm pretty confident then that brushing will just brushing on the Nitromorse will remove a lot of the last remnants, because although this probably to you on the video looks like it's still silver. It's not actually. This is all the alley underneath that's come through, and all that lot there is just the remnants of the undercoat of the white, etc. So we're right down to it. Hopefully you can see that better there. That's all the alley. So it's good. So we'll get it washed down, and then another coat or two of nitromors. Hi everyone, Angus Campbell here, also known as Heath Robinson. It's Monday the 28th of April 2025. Carrying on with the Gold Star 250SS painting. I don't know why I did an introduction like that, because this is just another clip in the same, going to be in the same video. Right, it's going to be a lovely week this week, and we need to get this paint done. So we've rigged up our Heath Robinson apparatus, as I've said, ready to put on the blue. There's our reference point over here, which unfortunately, as you can see these little light lines, it's reacting, so that's going to need to be done again at some point. But let's see how we get on with these. It's not going to be absolutely perfect concourse job, but it's going to be much better than before, and that's what we want. Right, so we'll get the paint out. We need to get that warmed up. It's a bit early yet. We'll let the temperature get up a bit, and then start praying. Right, while we're waiting for the air temperature to warm up a bit outside, I've also got the spray cans out there warming up too for the paint. We may as well get another final coat of nitromors on this wheel, and this will definitely be, I think, the last one, and then we'll end up, as you can see, with this blasted finish. But that's okay. I don't mind that. We can finish it off with a bit of solvent, put a bit of a sort of a satin gleam to it, which is fine by me. Right, I'll get another layer of my nitromors on that. Where are we? There we go. Just brush it on. Leave it for a quarter of an hour or so. Brush another coat on, and then once it's lifting up and stuff, we'll go with the little wire brush on the drill again. Right, we're in the sun. Air temperature's up. Cans are warmed up, shaken to death, not as hot as the tea. And I've cleared the nozzle of this one, which is the one we used before. And I think the problem that I had was I hadn't shaken it enough, so we'll give it a good shake. I've also tack ragged these to get the dust off. So I think we're good to go. Heart's beating. Well, I haven't committed suicide. So side panel done, and pretty pleased with that. The initial can was trying to spatter, so I changed to a new nozzle, and that sorted it. I then went on to the tank, which was going pretty well, and then I don't know if you can see it. There you go. It spattered, and there's quite a few spatters across the top, which is bloody annoying. Underside's okay, so gonna let that dry off well. We'll see. There we are. You can see in there, look. We'll let this lot dry off well. They're going to be slightly raised, those. Well, we'll see how they dry back with a bit of time. But anyway, we'll put another base silver on, because we're going to have to do the tank again. Certainly on the top side. Not too worried about the bottom side, but actually sod law dictates that the bottom side is fine, and actually the left hand side is okay. It's the top and the right hand side. Well, you know, we've made progress, so that's okay. Anyway, that's done. Right, I'll bring you back. Right, second attempt and good news. So I put another layer of silver base coat on the top and the sides of the tank. Those spatters didn't show up at all, so they were very shallow, so that was fine. And I've just given it another coat then of top coat. Actually, I'm not worried about it, but you can just see, where's my finger? The raised spatter there. Can you see it? But of course it's now an even colour. So I'm not worried about that. I'm happy about that. But I found the trick. So what I did was, I've used the same nozzle. I cleaned the nozzle out with thinners. I inverted the can to clean out the tube inside. I then turned the nozzle 90 degrees, so it is in the vertical plane, not horizontal. And hey presto, no problem. So there's a tip. Now, if you look really closely, I'm doing it outside and there's a little bit of a breeze. You might not be able to see it, but you know, there's slightly difference in shades, even though I went evenly across the piece because of the light breeze. But to be honest, you know, the factory paint wasn't perfect. It was all over the place with the flamboyant, so again, I'm not bothered. I am happy with that. Now it looks quite matte because you have to put it on thinly, but the lacquer will lift it. So we'll let the two pieces dry out. I'll bring the side panel back over here. I got it well out of the way when I was messing about with this on its own. We'll bring it back out. We'll let them dry thoroughly on this beautiful day, and then later on today we'll apply the badges. Hurrah! Right, it's about 8:30 in the evening after a good sort of afternoon and evening drying in the relatively warm air, looking good. So, ready for transfers. Very tempted to do it tonight, but no, I'll do it tomorrow at some time. We'll just let that paint bake a bit more overnight. Next day, and here we are with the tank all dried off, and it's flam blue. Looks matte, but that's fine. Side panel, reference side panel, and yes, kitchen table, full approval. And also on the laptop, the reference point for the badge on the tank. So we're just going to put the transfers on. They're water slides, so let's get them in. No time like the present. Preferably the right way up. Yes, they'll curl up. We know all about that. Right, we'll leave them to cook a bit. Got tissues at the ready. We'll do this one first. So all we want the reference side panel for really is to get it in the same position, height wise, and centering is fine. It's just the height really. So once those start to lift a little, then we'll slide them off. That's it, get in. Oh, and they're starting to lift now. Right, I need 2 hands for this. I'll bring you back in a moment, but essentially pick them up, slide them off the backing onto the piece, and then dab them with some clean paper towel. And try and get the phone to turn off before you do. Oh, it didn't tell me I got the wrong transfer. It's not a 500. All right, well, let's do the tank, and I do have some, where are they? 250 ones. They're in here somewhere. So we'll dig those out in a sec, but we'll do the tank ones first then. Duh. Right, that's better. It's back to a 250. Okay, pretty pleased with that. These side panel ones are quite nice to put on, slide off easy, don't crinkle too much. The tank ones, oh God, they're bloody horrible. And there's a few little tiny crinkles which I just cannot get out, no matter what I do. So I'm hoping as it dries, you've got to allow these 24 hours to dry. I think I've just about got that in the right position. Yeah, right, just got to do the other side now. Other side, yeah, pretty happy with that, so I'll dab that. And right, leave these now for 24 hours. Just to say that 10 minutes after I did the first side, this badge here, the crinkles are coming out fine, so I think we'll be all right. There is a bit of a challenge though, because with the instructions it says don't overpaint these with cellulose lacquer because they crinkle. Well, we're going to have a bit of fun then, because that's when it's going to get. It's Thursday the 1st of May. Don't ask. This clip isn't in the wrong order in this video. We're back to silver. I put a coat of gloss lacquer on the blue and had a bit of an accident with something else, which knocked the tank. I caught it before it went to the ground, scratched it, tried to do a quick and dirty paint repair job, didn't work. And that's because with, you know, these pearlescents, you can't just, you know, use it as touch-up. Doesn't work. So I was just making things worse. So give it a bit of a rub down, another coat of silver, and here we are. Right, this has been on a while, it's well dry, so we're going for the pearlescent blue again. Hope we get a good finish. You know, it's just do it in one job, and then be ready for later on today. It's lovely and warm today. Be later on today, be ready for badges, and then tomorrow lacquer. The good news is that the side panel that we did, here we have badges at the ready, has come out well. That is the one. You can't tell the difference between the two now, so it's a good job. Right, let's do the blue and hope it doesn't spatter. Right, back to where we are. Sorry, where we were. Well, 24 hours ago, save for the badges, which I'll put on this evening in a couple of hours, and maybe a light coat of no, I can't. I want to put the badges on tonight, and you've got to wait for them to dry properly, which we'll do. And then I've got a bit of lacquer left to lacquer them and finish lacquering the side panel, which needs a bit more, but I've got a couple more cans of lacquer from RS arriving tomorrow. I do have other lacquer from other well-known brands, etc., but I don't want to sort of mix brands, because that's probably how the other side panel has started reacting slightly. Right, I'll quick flick when the badges are on, and yeah, this time I'll try and not destroy it after I've done it. Right, we're there. So we've lost 24 hours, but that's okay because I was running out of lacquer. But the lacquer's going to be here tomorrow. I know it looks odd to those that are not familiar with the bike, but the tank actually sits on the bike like that. So then the badges are horizontal with the ground. Right, we'll leave those to dry overnight and wait for the lacquer tomorrow. Weather's supposed to be pretty warm again tomorrow. Not quite as warm as today, but good enough. And we'll apply the lacquer again, and we'll try not to nearly drop the tank and damage it. Right, moving on then, I started, this is a couple of days later, I started lacquering yesterday. Coming on pretty well. The badges have crinkled a little, you can't see. I think this one's worse than the other side. But I'm not too concerned about that. It's pretty insignificant. The trouble with these transfers is that it states that you shouldn't really use cellulose-based paints on them, and that you should use other types of varnish and stuff like that. But when you're using, you know, a cellulose paints, they'll set a series of paints to paint the tank before you put the badges on, then there's no way I'm going to put any other type of I don't know what, varnish or non-cellulose lacquer on it, because you run the risk of it reacting, if not straight away then slowly, as we've seen before. So I ain't doing it. I'd rather have slightly crinkly badges, which might actually improve as we get more coats of lacquer on. So they've had a decent coat, well, 2 coats on the top of the tank, but that was when it was sort of stood on a surface. Now I've got it swinging, so we can do the underside and give the top side another coat. And then with the side panel, it needs another coat top side, and then it needs to have lacquer put on the back side because I've not started there yet. So I'll tack rag these down and we'll get cracking. And then and before we go, because there's been far too many clips on this video, but I just wanted to show you in parallel. I've been making slow progress with the wheel, and you can see we're beginning to get the finish now on the hub. As I say, it's been blasted, so it's going to be a sort of a rough matte effect, but I don't mind that. But it's now cleaning up okay. With what I've been using is the drill with the little wire wheel, because it can get in all the nooks and crannies, and they're stainless spokes, and so you know, there's no risk of them getting damaged or if you like, surface plating being rubbed off. So we can crack on with that as well. But the bad news is that I was hoping to get the bike ready for a trip across the water on May the 8th, which is you know, only in 5 days time. But it's not going to happen, because Central Wheels have now had the rear wheel for over 6 weeks. They quoted 5 to 6 weeks. So I was chasing them yesterday before this bank holiday weekend, and it's going to be another 10 working days. Well, you know, counting the bank holiday and weekends and stuff like that, effectively we're talking another 2.5 weeks before I'm going to pick it up. So I'm not impressed, and I'm probably going to, when I do the B50 wheels, which will be the last ones that I do, then I might look potentially for another supplier to do that, because I'm getting fed up with it. Right, that's it anyway. Let's get on with the stuff outside. I'll come back and show you these once they're done, and then we'll call it a day for this video. There you go, another coat, good thick coat all over. It's such a beautiful colour, especially when the sun comes out. Side panel done too. Look at that gleam. That's me. You can see me. Another coat yet to do, I think, on both, and then we'll let that harden off. And I'm going to leave it there for this video. It's been far too long, too many clips, but at least you've seen warts and all. And what we'll do in the next video on this bike is actually reinstalling these on the bike with the wheels, and we'll see how it look. I'm not sure when that'll be yet, when I get the damn wheel back. Right, thanks very much for watching, everybody. Thanks for your interest, any comments and subscriptions, and see you all again soon. Cheers.